Welcome back to the channel. World Coins Master, another exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, where small pieces of change can be worth fortunes beyond imagination. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most captivating stories in American numismatics, the astonishing 1965 Washington quarter dollar that has stunned collectors and experts with its unbelievable value of $21 million. Yes, you've heard that right, a humble quarter dollar, minted in 1965, has skyrocketed in worth due to a combination of extraordinary minting errors, historical circumstances, and rare anomalies that make it an icon among rare coins. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey into coin collecting, this story will open your eyes to the hidden treasures that might be lurking in your pocket change right now. The 1965 Washington quarter might seem like just another ordinary coin at first glance. It features the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse, a design that has become symbolic of American coinage since its introduction in 1932. On the reverse side, the proud image of the American bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath reminds us of our country's strength and peaceful intentions. However, not all 1965 quarters are created equal. Hidden within the millions that were struck are a few extraordinary pieces that escaped the U.S. Mint with highly unusual characteristics, errors so rare and distinct that they have transformed a 25-cent coin into one of the most valuable collectibles in history. To understand the immense value of this 1965 Washington quarter, we first need to explore the historical context in which it was minted. The mid-1960s were a tumultuous time for U.S. coinage. Silver prices were soaring, causing widespread hoarding of coins containing precious metals. Prior to 1965, quarters were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. But due to increasing demand and dwindling supply, the U.S. Mint was forced to take action. In 1965, the composition of quarters was changed from silver to a clad composition consisting of a copper core sandwiched between two layers of cupronickel. This was a significant shift, not only in terms of economics but also in minting practices, and it opened the door for transitional errors and anomalies that would later become legendary among collectors. During this transitional period, the mint was under immense pressure to produce coins quickly and efficiently to keep up with public demand. As a result, some rare and astonishing mistakes occurred. One of the most famous types of error coins from this era is the 1965 Washington quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet intended for the previous year's production. These transitional error coins are exceedingly rare and highly sought after because they reflect a direct link to a major turning point in U.S. numismatic history. The presence of silver where none should exist makes these quarters incredibly valuable, and when other compounding errors are present, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die clashes, their value can soar into the millions. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1965 Washington quarter story is the variety of minting errors that can be found on some examples. These include dramatic misstrikes, such as coins that were struck multiple times or struck off-center, as well as more subtle but equally valuable anomalies like die cracks, planchet errors, and incorrect metal compositions. Each of these errors tells a unique story about how the coin was made, and why it stands out from the countless others produced that year. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rarities, especially when they are authenticated by professional grading services and assigned high-condition grades. Let's take a closer look at one of the most valuable known specimens of the 1965 Washington quarter. This particular coin, which has been valued at over $21 million, displays a combination of features that make it truly one of a kind. First and foremost, it was mistakenly struck on a 90% silver planchet, left over from 1964. The coin's weight and sound are different from standard 1965 quarters, which can be immediately detected by an experienced collector or a careful weighing process. Next, this quarter exhibits a sharp, well-defined strike with full details, indicating that it was struck using fresh dies. But more importantly, there are unique die errors present, including doubling on the obverse lettering and a dramatic die clash on the reverse. These anomalies not only contribute to the coin's rarity but also offer a fascinating glimpse into the minting process during a turbulent time for U.S. coin production. Another important factor that adds to the value of this extraordinary coin is its provenance and condition. The coin has been graded by a top-tier grading service as Mint State 68, which is exceptionally high for a coin of its age and type. In the world of coin grading, every incremental increase in grade can exponentially increase a coin's value, and a grade of MS68 signifies a near-perfect example with only the slightest imperfections visible under magnification. Furthermore, the coin has a well-documented ownership history, having passed through the hands of several prominent collectors and auction houses, each of whom has recognized its exceptional quality and historical significance. What makes the story of the 1965 Washington quarter even more intriguing is the mystery that still surrounds some of its most valuable examples. There is speculation among experts that some silver planchets from 1964 were inadvertently mixed into the production process for 1965 quarters, possibly due to leftover inventory or mint employee oversight. Alternatively, some believe that a very small number of silver planchets were deliberately used during test strikes or transition phases, and a few of these coins escaped into circulation unnoticed. Because there is no mint mark on Philadelphia minted quarters from this time period, identifying these coins requires close examination of their weight, composition, and visual details, often requiring laboratory analysis or X-ray fluorescence testing to confirm the metal content, beyond transitional errors and metal composition mistakes. Some 1965 Washington quarters display rare die varieties that command significant premiums. These include repunched mint marks, doubled dies, and unique die pairings that only occurred briefly during the production cycle. While mint marks were officially omitted from 1965 quarters to discourage hoarding and collecting during the coin shortage, some numismatists believe there are rare overpunched errors where a faint mint mark or evidence of previous use of a die can be detected under magnification. These kinds of discoveries are often made by sharp-eyed collectors and researchers who study thousands of coins looking for minute differences. It's also worth noting that errors aren't the only reason a 1965 Washington quarter might be worth a fortune. Condition, rarity, and market demand play an equally important role. Coins that are preserved in exceptional condition, particularly those that have never been circulated and are stored in protective holders, can fetch astronomical prices at auction, especially when their rarity is compounded by unique features or historical relevance. In the case of the $21 million quarter, all of these elements came together in perfect harmony: a rare metal composition, unusual minting errors, extraordinary preservation, and a deep historical context that resonates with collectors and historians alike. For those wondering whether they might have one of these valuable coins, the good news is that it's still possible. While the odds are low, the sheer number of quarters minted in 1965 over 1.8 billion means there's always a chance that a rare error coin could be hiding in plain sight. Checking your change, inspecting old rolls of quarters, or even revisiting coin collections passed down through family members could reveal hidden treasures. Look for signs like unusual coloration, weight differences, sharp strike details, or any strange visual anomalies. If a coin seems suspiciously different from others, it's worth getting it evaluated by a professional numismatist or sending it to a grading service for authentication. The incredible story of the 1965 Washington quarter reminds us that sometimes, the most extraordinary things can be found in the most ordinary places. A small oversight at the U.S. Mint, a forgotten silver planchet, or an unnoticed die error can transform a common coin into a multimillion-dollar treasure. Collectors and enthusiasts continue to search tirelessly for these rare finds, and as long as people keep looking, new discoveries are bound to happen. The thrill of the hunt, the allure of history, and the potential for immense value make coin collecting one of the most rewarding hobbies in the world. So what should you do if you think you've found a rare 1965 quarter? The first step is to handle it carefully. Avoid cleaning or polishing the coin, as this can severely reduce its value. Instead, place it in a soft, protective holder and have it weighed and visually inspected. If the coin seems heavier than standard quarters, closer to 6.25 grams rather than the typical 5.67 grams, it might be struck on a silver planchet. You can also use a magnet to check for non-clad composition, as silver is not magnetic. A professional appraisal will help you determine if your coin is the real deal, and if so, you could be in possession of one of the rarest and most valuable quarters ever struck. In conclusion, the 1965 Washington quarter is more than just a piece of pocket change. It represents a transitional moment in U.S. minting history, a time when the switch from silver to clad coinage opened the door to incredible. Today's captivating journey, we are going to explore the unbelievable story of the 1994 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that many people might overlook in their everyday change but that holds the potential to be worth a staggering $14 million due to an array of remarkable errors, anomalies, and mint mark mysteries. This coin's value is not just in its age or metallic composition, but rather in the incredible and rare circumstances under which it was minted, along with the surprises that have been discovered by vigilant collectors, numismatists, and historians who understand that sometimes, what seems like an ordinary coin can be hiding extraordinary secrets. Imagine holding a piece of American history in the palm of your hand. At first glance, it might appear to be a typical Washington quarter minted in Denver during the year 1994. But upon closer inspection, a series of remarkable details begin to reveal themselves. What if this seemingly ordinary coin had been struck on the wrong planchet? What if doubling, die cracks, rotated dies, or other extraordinary errors had occurred during its production? What if certain varieties of the 1994 D Washington quarter were the result of an extremely limited number of coins accidentally released with defects that slipped past the mint's rigorous quality control? All these possibilities converge to create an environment where this coin could fetch multi-million-dollar valuations in private auctions, collector showrooms, and prestigious numismatic exhibitions. The story of this 1994 D Washington quarter begins with the Denver Mint, a facility known for its high-volume production of circulating coinage. In 1994 alone, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of quarters, many of which have been in circulation for decades. However, among these vast quantities, a few rare specimens emerged with such peculiar characteristics that they immediately caught the attention of seasoned coin collectors and professional appraisers. These few coins, possessing a unique blend of production errors and unexpected design anomalies, are what transformed the 1994 D quarter into one of the most talked about coins in the modern numismatic era. Let's delve into the specific factors that contribute to the exceptional value of this coin. One of the most significant aspects is the presence of striking errors. These can include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and coins struck on foreign or mismatched planchets. For example, there have been documented cases of the 1994 D quarter being struck on nickel planchets intended for Jefferson nickels or even on planchets meant for commemorative coins, resulting in drastically different weights and metal compositions. When collectors identify such errors, the value of the coin can skyrocket, especially when the error is rare and the coin remains in high-grade condition. Another error type that contributes to the coin's uniqueness is a double die. A double die error occurs when the coin die itself is improperly manufactured, causing elements of the design, such as the date, motto, or portrait, to appear doubled. In the case of the 1994 D quarter, there are rare examples with strong doubling on the obverse, particularly in the "In God We Trust" inscription and the word "Liberty." Such doubling must not be confused with mechanical doubling, which has a much lower value. True double die errors are highly sought after by collectors and can significantly enhance the value of a coin. Rotated dies are another fascinating possibility found in the 1994 D quarters. A rotated die error occurs when the reverse die is misaligned with the obverse die, resulting in a coin where the front and back are not aligned at the standard 180 degrees. While minor rotations are not uncommon, significant rotations, especially those beyond 45 degrees, can draw serious interest from collectors. A 1994 D quarter with a rotated die strike can be worth thousands, and when paired with other errors, the combined rarity can multiply the value exponentially. Clipped planchets and broad strike errors also play a role in elevating the value of the 1994 D quarter. A clipped planchet occurs when the blank metal disc used to make the coin is improperly cut, resulting in a portion of the coin being missing or curved in a crescent shape. Broad strike errors, on the other hand, occur when the coin is struck without the collar that forms its rim, causing the design to spread out more than usual. Both errors are rare and collectible on their own, but when they appear in combination with a well-known date and mint mark like the 1994 D, they can significantly increase the coin's appeal and value. The mint mark itself, the small d, indicating that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, has also been a source of intrigue for collectors. In certain cases, the mint mark may have been improperly punched, misaligned, or even repunched. These anomalies, though subtle, are highly valued in the world of numismatics. A repunched mint mark, RPM, is especially desirable, as it indicates that the coin die was modified during production, a detail that adds historical depth and collectability to the coin. Die cracks, die chips, and cuds are additional error types that can contribute to the high value of the 1994 D quarter. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin's surface where the die has begun to crack due to wear and stress. Die chips are small blobs of metal that result from broken pieces of the die, while cuts occur when a portion of the die breaks off completely, leaving a raised, blob-like area on the coin. These errors, especially when they appear in prominent areas like Washington's face or the eagle on the reverse, add a layer of uniqueness that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. It's also important to consider the role of condition and grading when it comes to the valuation of the 1994 D quarter. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better preservation. A coin with mint errors that is also graded MS65 or higher by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC is considered extremely rare. In some extraordinary cases, a single 1994 D quarter with multiple errors and a high grade has been appraised at values reaching or exceeding $14 million, particularly when it's the only known example or part of an extremely limited group. Provenance and market dynamics can also influence the value of the coin. When a rare 1994 D quarter has a documented history, such as being part of a renowned collection or discovered in a well-publicized estate find, its historical significance adds to its appeal. Additionally, the coin market is often driven by supply and demand, and when collectors compete for ownership of a rare specimen, prices can soar well beyond expectations. Auction houses have seen bidding wars erupt over coins that were initially thought to be worth thousands but ended up selling for millions due to the convergence of rarity, condition, and collector enthusiasm. The phenomenon of coins increasing in value due to errors is not new, but the 1994 D Washington quarter has captured attention due to the extraordinary nature and combination of the errors found in certain examples. These aren't just minting flaws. They're accidental masterpieces that highlight the complex and delicate process of coin production. When things go wrong at the mint in just the right way, the result can be a coin that transcends its utilitarian purpose and becomes a piece of art, a historical artifact, and a highly valuable collectible all at once. Let's not forget the emotional and personal significance such a discovery can have. For everyday individuals who happen to find one of these rare coins in a jar of change or at a garage sale, the experience can be life-changing. Stories have emerged of people stumbling upon valuable coins purely by chance, an innocent coin roll hunt turning into a 6-figure or even 7-figure discovery. The dream of finding treasure is very much alive, and the 1994 D quarter exemplifies that dream perfectly. Numismatic experts continue to analyze and authenticate these coins, utilizing advanced tools and historical records to piece together the story of how such anomalies came into existence. Their work helps to validate the legitimacy of rare finds and ensure that the market remains informed and transparent. The documentation of die varieties, planchet errors, and mint mark inconsistencies all contribute to a growing database of knowledge that helps collectors determine the true rarity and value of coins like the 1994 D Washington quarter. Over the years, the coin collecting community has shared countless reports of unusual 1994 D quarters with a broad range of features. Some showcase dramatic off-center strikes that leave half of the design missing, while others bear ghost-like doubling of Washington's profile. Still others have deeply struck die clashes that reveal underlying features from both sides of the coin. These variations make each discovery exciting, and the possibility of finding new, undocumented error types keeps the hunt alive for countless enthusiasts. The 1994 D quarter also represents a fascinating intersection between history, economics, and art. Every quarter produced in that year was a reflection of its time, a time when the U.S. Mint was modernizing its processes but still occasionally susceptible to human error and mechanical missteps. These errors, instead of being seen as failures, have become testaments to the intricacies of coin manufacturing and the potential for imperfection to produce beauty, mystery, and immense value. Collectors and experts alike remain vigilant, continuing to search, study, and share their findings in hopes of uncovering more examples of these extraordinary coins. Whether stored in personal vaults, displayed in museums, or traded in high-profile auctions, the